Hello. This morning's interesting. Well, for me anyway. I had, sorry if you can hear gunfire in the background. My flatmate's playing Fallout, I think, Fallout 3. Today we're going into the city for a friend's birthday, so that's gonna be good. But the problem is we're taking the train, and I mean, that's not a problem in itself, but when you have invisible disabilities, it raises some issues, and I wanted to kind of discuss those briefly, I guess. When you need a seat but you don't look like there's anything wrong with you, people can be difficult. I mean, you know, if I got someone in a priority seat on a packed train and say, you know, do you mind if I take that seat? I have disabilities, I need to sit down. There's always like a 50-50 chance that they're going to react aggressively and accuse me of faking it and, you know, just assume that I'm trying to use some kind of, you know, some kind of ruse to get a seat. But the problem is, if I don't get a seat on a train, I can end up in hospital. You know, the jolt when a train moves from a station or when it pulls into a station, that can knock me off my feet or knock a hip out of place or a knee. My joints are that loose. The other thing is, because I have postural tachycardia, that means that the longer I'm standing, the higher my heart rate goes, but also the lower my blood pressure goes, so yeah. Bizarrely enough, with those two going in opposite directions, there's only a certain amount of time I can spend standing before I black out. And obviously if I fall, it's not like a normal person falling. All of my joints sort of go west. The most dangerous one is my spine. Yeah, that terrifies me. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight the whole, you know, invisible disabilities and public transport thing, because it scares a lot of people with invisible disabilities off using public transport altogether. I know people who are terrified to get on a bus because if they have to fight for a priority seat, I mean, you know, the jolt of a bus moving is substantially more severe than a train moving, so yeah, a lot more dangerous. I'm lucky that the local buses near me, because I live right near a uni, there are free local buses just within the central area. And the bus drivers all know me, so they're lovely. You know, but if I was living in the city centre, for example, a lot of the bus drivers there are difficult. I've had a lot of problems. You know, I have to ask bus drivers to lower the bus for me. And yeah, I've had a bus driver look me up and down, give me that sort of sneer, shut the doors, flip me off and drive away because I asked him to lower the bus for me, and he obviously assumed that there was nothing wrong with me and that I was screwing him around. What would it really have cost him to just lower the damn bus? But yeah, on the trains, the worst experience I've had was being thrown off by transit guards, because basically when I got on the train, you know, it was mostly empty. But I got on with a whole lot of people at once, and I'm slow moving, and I didn't want to get bumped into, so by the time I got on, the only seats left were priority seats. Obviously, I try to take a regular seat if I can, because it means less hassle. But yeah, in this instance, that was my only option. And a couple of stations down, this elderly man got on. You know, I asked him if he needed to sit down, and gestured to the person next to me, you know, who offered his seat. And this old guy said, no, I'm fine, sort of thing, looking grumpy. I get the impression he didn't like the way I dressed. I was extremely goth back then. Now I'm sort of brightly coloured goth. Yeah, you know, but then transit guards got on further down, and one of them asked the old guy, you know, whether or not someone had offered him a seat. And he said no, and that he needed one, and he was, you know, appalled at these people taking seats. And naturally, the transit guards targeted me. And, you know, when I said, no, I have disabilities, I can't give up this seat, you know, they accused me of lying, obviously. I pulled out my disabled parking permit, my Centrelink card that says DSP on it for Disability Support Pension. I had my companion card, which is something for people with disabilities if it's not safe or not possible for you to attend events without a carer with you, which is definitely my case with my joints and my blood pressure and my heart rate and my entire neurological system being so unpredictable. I need help with a lot of things when I'm out and about. Yeah, oh my god, I went through all of these and he just kept accusing me of faking it again and again, and accused me of taking my grandmother's disabled parking permit. Both my grandmothers live in the UK. Oh my god, it was so frustrating. And yeah, they ended up throwing me off the train, which was appalling. And of course, you know, when you call up Transperth to complain about these kinds of things, you never hear back from them. They don't deal with complaints. I've complained about multiple different things, because obviously this is something that I have to deal with frequently. So there have been many occasions when I had cause to make a complaint. Yeah, I've never heard back from them about a complaint once in my life. But the biggest problem isn't transit guards, it's just the regular people that you have to deal with, because like I said, if you don't look like there's anything wrong with you, people don't believe you. And that can be dangerous for people like me. You know, people with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, people with Marfan syndrome. Loeys-Dietz is another one that's kind of like Marfan syndrome, but, you know, it's different in more subtle ways. They used to think it was Marfan syndrome. Yeah, you know, things like even osteoarthritis. You can't see osteoarthritis from the outside. I might have completely crumbling knees and no one could tell from the outside. Yeah, there are a multitude of different conditions that you can't see, but that mean people need to sit down on a bus or a train. But, yeah, it's just not easy for us to deal with obstinate people when all you can say is, you can't see what's wrong with me. So I guess my point with this is just to implore you, if you're watching this as someone without disabilities, please take us seriously when we say things like this. You know, I mean, obviously, if you see someone in a priority seat on a train and you need it, or someone with you needs it, then ask them. But if they say they have an invisible disability, you have to take them seriously. It's just not safe to assume otherwise. Yeah, you know, but if you're watching this as someone with invisible disabilities, please make a video of your own discussing this, because I'm not the first to cover this issue, not by a long shot, and the more voices we can add to this, the better, because it has killed people. That's no over-exaggeration. I know someone who ended up temporarily paralyzed. It was the kind where she recovered from it. It was a sort of... It was a spinal injury that didn't result in major damage to her spinal column, but yeah, she was mostly paralyzed for about 6 months, and it took her a long time to recover from that fully, and that was because someone on her school bus refused to give up a seat for her, and the driver wouldn't defend her. Yeah, that's horrific. I mean, she missed out on half of her final year of school because of it. She had to do a bridging course to get into uni. And this was all because 2 people refused to believe her and no one else defended her. Yeah. If you have any comments on this issue, please add them to my video or make your own response. That would be awesome. And wish me luck for today. It's gonna be interesting. It's stressful for the people I'm with as well, of course. But yeah, I have the stubborns. Yeah, thank you for watching my video.